All right, I think I'm live on Facebook and Instagram. Welcome to The Bomb Blonde. I am Seanie. In case you don't know who I am, I wore my Blondie sweatshirt for you. So a couple things about me. I've been at Pinup Girls for 7.5 years, in case you don't know who I am. And I'm also known as that blonde girl, Seanie. A couple of my favorite things that I love to do at the salon is extensions and blonde hair. So one of the things we're talking about today is blonde hair. We will have we'll have another class like this again later for extensions, but today is more about just talking about what kind of problems and solutions I can kind of go over with everybody. Let's see here. One of the top questions I feel like that I get asked as a stylist for a lot of my blonde clients is, how do I keep my hair from becoming dull? So there's a couple things here. Dull hair oftentimes is because of what's going on in your water at home. So if you leave the salon and your hair is bright and you love exactly how it looks, but you get home maybe a couple weeks later, it doesn't feel quite as maybe shiny, or maybe the tone of your color isn't lasting quite as long as what you thought. One of those things could definitely be your water. And so a solution for that problem, we do have a product called Urgent Repair Shampoo. It's a gently detoxifying shampoo, and it just helps to keep minerals off of your hair. It doesn't matter if you have hard water or if you're a swimmer, things like that is going to be damaging to your hair, for one, because you're going to have to lighten those out if you're not taking proper precautions. But also, just using the Urgent Repair shampoo helps to keep those minerals off of your hair and keep that color nice and bright. Another thing with the with Urgent shampoo that I recommend is using purple shampoo as well. We have a couple options when it comes to purple products in the salon. The reason why we use purple products for blondes is because purple counteracts yellow. And so when we use purple shampoo, it's helping to counteract yellow tones. That's not saying if you have a lot of brassy tones that it's going to completely counteract it, but it's going to help in the long run keep things at bay. Another question I get with purple shampoo is, how often should I use it? In my professional opinion, I use my purple shampoo every time I shampoo. I only shampoo my hair about twice a week anyhow, because I like it to stay nice and healthy, and I don't like to shampoo my hair. But when I do shampoo, I start out with my Urgent shampoo first, and then I go in with my purple shampoo. So doing those helps to prep your hair, get all the minerals off, get any buildup product off as well, or well water or chlorine, anything like that will help get those off, and then the purple shampoo comes in and helps tone. So we have the purple shampoo, which is my personal favorite because I feel like if I have any brassiness, it normally starts to come in through my scalp and not as much through my ends, because my ends are already the color I want them to be. But the other option that we have is also, it's called Purple Revive. It's Euphoria, and it's super condensed purple. Not purple pigment, because it's not going to turn your hair purple. I mean, it might if you leave it on long enough, but it's just going to help to counteract brassiness. But with that, you're more going to put that on your ends and not so much your scalp. You could. But for me, I like to stretch out in between my shampoos, so that's going to actually make my hair a little bit, not greasy, but just kind of healthy, because it is a healthy product. So not that I don't want my hair to be healthy, but I also want to go long in between shampoos. So anything that's moisturizing or has any kind of texture like that, putting that on your scalp may make you have to shampoo sooner, if that makes sense. So using Revive on your ends and purple shampoo on your top, you could do both. The purple shampoo we have at the salon is called Lakme, and it's really great. It's super dark in pigment, so when you use that for the first time, don't freak out, because it's dark, and a lot of people were like scared of it at first. So anyway, those are my two shampoos that I always recommend for my blondes at home. Even if you're not necessarily going towards a cool look, it's going to keep your hair color more neutral instead of turning brassy or getting any kind of yellow tones. Another thing that I have questions about too is brassy hair. So since we're on that subject, you also have to look at your low light. What does your low light look like? Because at that point, if your blonde hair has nothing to back up against it, it may start, your blonde might be beautiful and bright, but if your low light is starting to fade or to turn brassy, because color does fade. And when it fades naturally to a warmer color. So when our low light starts to fade, that can actually also be one of the illusions of our blonde hair becoming brassy. Most of my blondes, I usually do a glaze on. So with a glaze, because when you highlight, you're lifting pigment out of the hair. And when you are low lighting, you are putting pigment into the hair. So when we're lifting and if we're glazing on top of that, the reason why most stylists will glaze is because we can't control where your color is going to lift to. So when your highlight lifts, if it stops at more of like a yellow stage, because lifting it all the way to white can be damaging, let's be honest. So if you're lifting, most people are going to land more in like a yellow stage, even me. If we leave it on long enough, it could get there, but we always want healthy hair as well. Even though we want the color that we want, we also want it to be healthy. So that glaze or toner, or whatever your stylist at home calls it, that will really help to get you the desired tone that you want. And maybe that's not actually, a lot of people are like, I want to be really blonde, I want to really, really bright. But really what you're wanting is just not yellow. Because yellow hair it can be fashionable if you want it to be, I guess. But most people want either cooler or neutral colored. So with that, when you put your glaze on, that's a color. If you are shampooing every day, every other day, the more you shampoo, that color will start to come off. I was at a class one time and they put gloves on top of your hand, and then you couldn't see any of your pigment, any of your like skin color pigment through the gloves. And once they started taking them off, which represented shampooing, you could start to see more of your own pigment. And that's kind of what a glaze will do for you. It'll help counteract any of that pigment that you don't want to see. But if you shampoo more and more and more, it's going to start coming off. So one of the things that we really love, and if you're already curl, you know what I'm going to say, it's our color lock. So our Sculpture and Illuminate actually will shut down that cuticle immediately. So it helps it to last longer. It helps your tone to last longer, but also helps that low light that we talked about that's fading out and becoming brassy. It'll help that last longer as well. Another question and concern more that most people have with blonde hair is when I have blonde highlights, and this isn't even just for blondes, it's for highlights in general. So if you have brown hair and you have highlights, this is for you too. Highlights are not ever going to be moisturizing. We use Euphoria Lightener and it is a great lightener, but lightener is still not going to be moisturizing. So a couple ways to help prevent your hair from feeling dry is, one, you should be using a moisturizing conditioner. My favorite ones for blonde, any of my blonde clients, is our Elixir. Anything in our Elixir line, you're good. Because those two have a vibrant color complex in it, will help your glaze last and your lowlights last longer, but then it'll also help to, has a damage cure complex in it too, so it'll help to actually repair that hair strand. The other thing that I almost always recommend for my blondes also is either our beautifying serum or our Elixir One. So those two are super moisturizing. Elixir One is more of a product that you would use say you're sick and you go to the doctor and she's like, you need some antibiotics. That's kind of what Elixir One is for your hair. If your hair is drier than normal, or you got more highlights on top of your brown hair, or anything of that in that realm, Elixir One is going to really help to intensify the damage cure. It's damage cure complex is what it is. So it's going to help to actually repair your hair. So with Elixir One, you could use 4 to 5 pumps of that beautifying serum. You normally would just go 1 to 2. Beautifying serum is going to be a little bit more just like moisturizing and luxurious, where Elixir One is just going to like really get in there and repair the damage. So they're both great, but it really depends on what level of blonde and what you were like when you came into the salon that day. And then the other one is Fortify. So Fortify is our strengthening spray. It has quinoa protein in it, so it helps to improve elasticity and build up the strength. 2 things that blondes need in their life all the time. That's definitely one that you could spray an abundance of on when your hair is wet and then when it's dry. So since I only shampoo once a week, usually at night, I like to spray that one in my ends to help it'll just absorb what it needs. It absorbs that protein. And then I also like to I'll put 1 pump of beautifying serum in my hands and rub that in my ends as well, just to help add moisture in my ends. I do have extensions as well, so it's a really great product. Beautifying serum for extensions is really good. But with the Fortify and the either beautifying serum or Elixir One, those 2 are really going to make sure that your hair stays healthy, so that when you come back in for your next appointment, we can still continue on the path and the journey of what color you guys are wanting to maintain, or if you have a goal, if it's a long journey, we got to keep your hair as healthy as possible. So using those products will really help to keep that hair as healthy as possible, which helps your hair be beautiful. Everybody wants their hair to be shiny and beautiful. So yeah, those of you that are on, if you have any other questions that I can help you with, please shoot them my way. But this was really just kind of an informative of how I take care of my blonde hair and how I usually recommend for my clients to take care of their blonde hair at home, because it is really important to keep your hair as healthy as possible all the time, but also with blonde hair, because it's not as strong as if you're gonna just color your hair brown. It's not. Our color line is very moisturizing and it's not going to damage your hair at all. So not that our lightener series will damage your hair either, but it is not moisturizing like I said before. So you do have to take all of these proper precautions to make sure you do have healthy hair. Couple things too that I wanted to let you guys know about. So Jenny and Aaron are in the salon on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 3. They're doing curbside pickup right now, so all you have to do to order any products is to email info@pin-upcurls.com, and I'll type that in here for you. And so just email them at that with your products that you need. If you watched this video and you are interested in getting any kind of products, if you use my code BLONDE15 in that email, you will actually get buy 3, get 1 free. The other thing with that too is if you say you don't need 4 products, you just need 1 or you need 2, you also with that code can get 15% off. And you can use those together. So if you bought 3 products and you got your other one free and you still need 2 other products, you get 15% off of those as well. So they can't be combined together, but can be used at the same time, if that makes any sense. A couple other things too this week that we have for you guys. Sam will be on Wednesday at 7:30, and she is going to be talking about fighting the fade. So it's a little bit of what I talked about today. For my Roomba just kicked on. I don't know why. Let me go turn that off. But Sam's going to be on talking about fighting the fade, and that's a little bit of what I was talking about earlier with using your color lock and really keeping matte color in as long as possible. And then on Friday, Macy and Abby will be on at 3 o'clock, and they will be talking about taming your curls. So thanks for tuning in today, and I hope you learned a little bit about taking care of your blonde at home and maybe some troubleshooting questions that you may have had. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.